Hi, I'm Mrs. Zenaida Vannaying. I'm an FEU graduate in 1977. Since you mentioned that today is our Mother's Day, this is my Mother's Day gift to all the students of FEU. I just want to share you part of my journey from the very time I came to Thailand in 1980. But because of that, it all started long time ago. Yeah. First, I want to show you first our hotels, those that we have built over the years. So we are actually under the umbrella of Vannaying Group of companies. We have around 8 or 10 companies are already at the moment. We are all doing the hospitality, trading, restaurants, and logistics. So to present to you, I'd like to show you some of the hotels that we have opened. I'd like to go over them. Maybe you can see that on your slides. First is the Vannaying Group of companies we have in the picture. Akara Hotel, which you can maybe visit our Akara Hotel, Bangkok. This is a 5-star one, which we opened about 3 years ago. We have in here our culinary school as well, Biba Pilipinas, Ross Kitchen, and our Barracuda. Other than that, we also have the Hotel Vista Pattaya, which we built about 12 years ago. We built, this is a 4-star hotel, which is um, been operating for the last 12 years. But other than that hotel, we also have another hotel in Patunam area. That's the very heart of the city. I want to explain to you that we all started from barely scratch. After doing my teaching job from Assumption University, I landed a small business which we started. We started with a travel agency, and then followed by owning some condominium units, and then later on having a small guest house. And the first owned hotel actually is Hotel Vista Express. So after Vista Express, we went further to another city, which is called Pattaya. That's around 2 hours and a half drive from Bangkok, and that we've been doing very well in the industry for quite some time because I've been in the business for the last 35 years. I came to Thailand when I was 26 years old. Now I'm 66. And the kids now are the one doing the job. I am also part of the, the management of this group of companies. We will going to have 2 more projects. We have the Akara Pattaya, which will be finished by next year. This is a 300-room hotel, 5-star one. This is the next chain. This is our second chain of Akara. And we have 500 500 seating capacity for 500 buffet guests at our hotel. This is a 24-story building. I hope next time you can visit us there. And lastly, we have our next project, which will be in Sukhumvit Soy 6. That will be another Akara chain of hotels. So you can see from the very time I finished my college up to this time, I've been doing the job. And it seems to be nonstop. What else can I impart to you is maybe we just went too fast about our Rochas Culinary School. We have a school that is inside the hotel, and the Viva Pilipinas, and the Lola's Kitchen. But I will going to elaborate more further about how are these all related. The Lola's Kitchen and Viva Pilipinas actually they are the latest business that we entered into because we want to keep our Filipino workers to stay with us. So while we are on pandemic, we try to create something that they will be still on job. So we created Lola's Kitchen, Viva Pilipinas, and you will see from the decoration, it's actually made by my son, who is a half Filipino, half Thai, because I'm married to a Thai. And all of these are his creation, according to him, is for his mom, okay? And maybe some of the people in the industry in the Philippines have encountered a company called Bangkok Vista Holiday. This is a company that we engage in, and we're getting a lot of Filipino travelers from the Philippines, around 800 to 1,000 people every month. So there's still a long story about all of this project. But as we go along, I think I will be able to tell you about more and more about the hotels that we have. Let me just get over a little of your Rochas Culinary School. If we can go back to that, if you have the slides. If you will, this is the Rochas Culinary School. It's on the third floor of our building. We entertain students as well as tourists who wish to study the real Thai culinary experience. And maybe some of you might be interested to join us next time when everything is back to normal. So maybe we're done with the presentation of our group of companies. And let me just get to you about my inspiring life story. As I mentioned, I've been here for 40 years, and I arrived in Thailand in 1980. So my life started when, well, of course, I was born in Tondo, like Isko Moreno, and I grew up in Malabon after we bought a small land in Malabon where we planted these flowers. And during the school days, I will go to school on a half day, and then I will sell the sampaguita garlands along the street, especially at Sangandaan Market. That's where I sell my the flowers. And then in the afternoons, or in the evening after selling, I have my timba where I usually put my sampaguita garlands with some water, and I bring that home the evening after selling. whatever is my sales, I will going to buy food that we have to use for the day, like rice, coffee, sugar, milk, milk, sardines, and yung
Food that
mga
we have to use.
whatever is binibenta na pauwi na. So it's like so continue on my journey. Like what I said, in the afternoons, after selling the sampaguita, in the evenings, I will bring naman coffee, sugar, rice, at ano pa yung mga ina-area sa market para we can use them like tomatoes, onions, vegetables, tinapa and everything. And then that's my contribution for the family. It so happened that the family, we are 8 in the family, 8 children. Mother is a dressmaker, father is a air condition mechanic. So wala kaming means. The other brothers naman, their contribution is to fish from the fish. They go fishing from the fish ponds, yung mga tilapia and bangus in Malabon. So that's how we survive. Of course, yung aking, other than selling the sampagita in the market, I also go to churches, graduation, mga schools, wherever I can sell them and make money. That was when I was in elementary up to high school. I went to Panghulo Elementary School, and then after that at Caloocan High School. When I was at Caloocan High School, I was also being teased by my friends na nagbebenta raw ako ng sampagita after school. So there's no way I can make a living. That's the only way we know how to make a living. So ang mother ko naman is not just sell. I'm not just you know, I mean, my job is not just selling the sampagita, but she's asking me also to deliver her finished clothing, yung mga pinagtatahingan ng mga nurse uniform, yung mga nurses and doctors at Mary Johnston Hospital. So ako yung tiga-deliver doon. Ako yung nakikipag-usap sa mga doktor, sa mga nurses. Ito po yung delivery ng mother ko, and then I will collect the money. So, nag-continue until I finished my high school, but towards the end, I was asking my parents if I can go to college, and they said they are very sorry they don't have the money. So, and I told them, if you don't have the money, I will do my own way. It so happened I was so lucky that when I reached the office of Attorney Orendain, that's the registrar's office of FEU, I was admitted as a student assistant. You know, I showed them my school record, and they saw that my grade is about, I think it was 88 something. And they said, would you like to work as a student assistant? And they offered me the job, and at once I accepted it because that's the only way I can go to college. So it's really very tough because contractual work lang. After 6 months, I have to be transferred to another department. First was at Attorney Orendain's registrar's office, and then later on dun sa architecture and fine arts. So after 1 year of working at FEU, I have to find other jobs. So I went to work at Philippine Standard, at iba-ibang companies na, and I did also selling Tupperware and all this para lang just to make a living. But college days is really very tough on me kasi our house is in Malabon, FEU is very far. So the only way is for me to stay at a place that's behind Gotesco, where I also do my bed spacing. My mom will going to cook the adobo, which is good for 1 week, and then tinapa or whatever, and I will just eat by after work. So I make my own baon to work, and then so I don't have to spend. And then at night, after school at 9 o'clock, I have to rush to the to the place where I'm having my bed space. So life was so tough. But towards the mga parang second or third year yata, yun, third year, yeah, I stopped. And then I tried to go to Canada, thinking that maybe we can explore that idea of me working in another country, but I wasn't successful because I was being forced to marry somebody from there, and I have to pay the money for $10,000, and I decided not, so I came back to Manila. But yung aking pamasahe going to Canada was isinanla namin yung aming bahay sa Pilipinas for 6,000, and then as part of that is for my pamasahe and part is for my father's business. We all failed. We failed in that venture. I went to the Philippines back, and then my father's business also flopped. So I struggled to find means to finish my bachelor degree in so many capacities. Yun nga, nagbebenta ng Tupperware, nag-work as secretary, nag-work as student assistant in different schools, mga ganun. And then finally, I finished in 1977. And I also met my husband, so we decided to, he also finished from the Philippines, and we decided to pursue our studies in UP. So I took my master's degree. And after my master's degree, I was also lucky again that FEU accepted me for a teaching job for 1 year. So in 1979 up to 1980, I was there teaching at the Faculty of Business, Accountancy, and Finance. And after 1 year, my husband also finished his master's degree. So we came to Thailand, and I brought with me my eldest son, who is who helped me a lot in establishing this business. So that's a very tough life, but I was able to go through it. And fortunately, when I arrived in Thailand, I was like off from job for 3 months, and I was accepted again to teach at one of the most famous English-speaking university in Thailand, called Assumption University. And I was there for about 6 to 7 years. So life is really tough, but I started my business little by little, and that's how I started with a small travel agency, and then I went into small guest house. I went into condominium, into properties, and we focused mainly on our hospitality business. And lately, we're doing now the trading as well as the food and restaurant business, which eventually, this is, by the way, a picture taken during our opening of Viva Pilipinas. This is a restaurant that I'm dedicating to our Filipinos in Thailand, because there's no place like this in Thailand where we can have our own parties, celebrations, like that. In this picture, you will notice that we took some of our Filipino teachers who are also teaching here, and they are doing folk dancing during our opening of Viva Pilipinas. So, what else can I say? It's really a long, long journey before I can reach this stage. It's really quite, what I'd say, tough, but I would not say smooth sailing, because this time of pandemic, we are all into this and we have to be able to go through it. You know? What else can I say about the inspiring story? We only have to be at our best and pursue what is to be pursued. By the way, with regards to career orientation, what can I advise the students? So it's more on you developing your skills. What are your strengths? Your uh, your attributes. What are your weaknesses? You should be able to know it before you can contribute it to your organization. So you know exactly where are you fitted, okay? And are there things that you can improve about your skills, your attributes? How will you be able to be competitive with others? Will you be able to compete with them? And how can you compete is through various training, coaching, and also maybe through also skills. Sometimes it's not actually just you're not getting it from lecture, but it's an experience that you have to experience. You have to experience it. It's really very hard to be able to develop a skill. Is not that easy, because in a classroom you just listen to theories and all that, but skills has to be developed somehow. Like in my case, it's like the skill is, I guess, the reason why I was able to get into this situation or this level of success is because I was trained from the very beginning since I was young. So this kind of value that I was instilled in me by my parents is to work hard. Okay, so they coach me all the way. Okay, and other than that, of course, since we're already on the 21st century, we have to have our own good intelligence, creativity, focus on your mastery. What are you good at? You must be innovative. You must have your communication skills, storytelling, and culture awareness, critical thinking skills, leadership, and also your must be able to go out of your comfort zone. Yeah, it's not just that you learn skill by just sitting down waiting for something. You must be able to interact. You must be able to go around your environment, see what's going on. It's not just because in the olden days, you thought that skills has to be taught to you, but nowadays you have to be open-minded for opportunities. Of course, these are opportunities that maybe as you go along, or maybe after your graduation, or maybe during your student days, you can do something like maybe just like me while I was a student, I'm doing some kind of selling, you know, learning how you can find your market, allocation of your market, do a little bit of your research, and finding your customer, what are their likes and dislikes, and so many things, because it's really very hard to teach everything in just one setting, in just one talking, but you really have to find solutions. So, you know, this is how you find the opportunities. Opportunities are not actually like what my experience, um, like the opportunity of, well, coming here, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't thinking I would be doing business, but I saw an opportunity that maybe I can do the travel business in the beginning. So I started with that. And from there, I went into diversification from the travel business. I went to accommodation, hotel, and so on. Yeah, it's something that how you find opportunities. They said that you will not be lucky every time, but it's just that you have to be up and about every time. And other than those opportunities, of course, there are also threats to our opportunities or to your business. There are negative and the positive factor. Positive is like when you see everything is normal, but we are not under normal condition right now. So we have the external factors like the political, the socio-economic problems, the pandemic now, which is not under our control, the something unforeseen that we are not able to predict what will happen. Like for example, in our case now, we're building a 24-story building, but supposed to be open by next year, but we're not sure whether the vaccine will be ready by then, and the tourists will be able to come to Thailand and make use of all of our services. And lastly, of course, the values that we have to have in our mind. Yeah, the values actually is not also taught in school. You know, values is what you get from your upbringing from the family. You know, it's like are you being honest to your job, to your business? Are you connected with the community? Do you have the integrity? You have to be able to get the values from your parents, from the way you are brought up by the family. So if you are taught to be hardworking, are you able to continue that as long as you grow? Or some of it maybe you get them from the schools, but most of it maybe you will get them from your from the upbringing of the family. Like if you will know, name is Zenaida Vannaying. Okay, from that Xiao actually is Chinese, but we are not actually 100% Chinese. I'm actually just 1/4 Chinese. My father is half Filipino, half Chinese. But maybe the things that I'm doing right now is part of our genes, that I think, because I was trained by my parents since I was 6 years old. So now I'm now 66 years old, and I'm still working. I'm still sharing what I can share. I may not be, what do you call this? I may not be, I cannot say, how did I get all these values, but I am taught from the very beginning since I was young until I grew up. So I'm able to do business in Thailand. So I am able to adjust myself to the values of Thais, and able to adapt myself. Otherwise, I cannot live in this society, in this kind of culture, because basically Thais are Buddhist in their religion, and they have different ways of doing business. So I'm able to do that, and so I am imparting now the values that I have to my kids, so they can continue on our legacy. What else can I say about this? Is now the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so I think everybody knows this. Now, the physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. So it's a pyramid. So I'm done with 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm now on the 5th. I'm already on the pyramid. I'm already self-actualized. I cannot ask for more from God, because I have done most of what I should have done. So I have provided my family, myself, and some of our workers of what are these needs. So this is since I'm now on my pyramid, this is what I'm doing right now. We are doing kind of financial literacy class. We're teaching the community about how the OFWs in Thailand will be able to go back to the Philippines and make use of their savings so they can own their own business. I joined a group of Ateneo Leadership Social Entrepreneurship class. It's not I joined the class, but I am actually the one of the founders. We're actually two. If you will see me in the bottom part of the picture, I'm in the middle. On my right side is another lady who introduced the Ateneo Leadership Social Entrepreneurship. This is about leadership and social entrepreneurship. So we're teaching financial literacy to OFWs in Thailand. On the left side corner, you would find that we're on our mast. I did chartering of the aircraft from Philippine Air Asia. We brought back the I think already 5 times. We are on our 6th batch of people we will repatriate to the Philippines because they lost their jobs. So that's our latest. And you will find also that in some other pictures, I'm also there helping to pack some of the goodies that we will distribute to the Filipino community in Thailand who lost their jobs because there was no work, no pay. The month of April, May, June, 3 months. So we source out some sponsors or cash, and we can already we gave them the bags so that they can So these are some of the activities that I have done, and some we also have during Christmas season. We also sponsor the Simbang Gabi, and it's not in the picture anymore, but we've been doing it perpetually every year. So that's me. That is what I become from FEU after finishing my college. So what can you, as a student, how can you pursue this dream of being successful in your career or your chosen field? Oh, what can I say? It's just that basically, first you have to study. First, you have to be equipped with the knowledge of how will be able to work. You have to have the theory. That's what I said. Management is actually an art and science. It's an art because, well, of course, how you deal with people, how will you get things done, how you will adapt yourself to the environment. Um, and there are about 21 kinds of management now. Talk about personnel management, marketing management, production management. But what can uh, what can I suggest? First is, of course, I said it's an art. Management is an art. Our business is an art, and it's also a science because, of course, you have to be equipped with theories also, the quantitative part. So you must be able to do that both. Study is a must. So for the betterment of your life, and so you can only if you are equipped with uh, with the skills, the knowledge. That's the only time you can only explore the rest of your environment. You cannot be successful if you don't study. I will not say if you will not be successful. What I mean is, first, when you study, you will have your self-confidence. If you don't have the self-confidence, it's very hard to interact with people. Yeah, so you have to learn all those things. In what I mentioned to you is that's how you pursue your dream. First is you have to really work hard for your studies. Then take it for granted. That's that's just the first basic Maslow's theory of hierarchy. So you have to be able to do your physiological needs. So basically, how you can feed yourself, dress yourself, how you can have your shelter, the food, and everything. And as you go along, you go step by step. So that's how you pursue your dream. It's not actually that easy, but it's pursuing a dream is not just sleeping and waking up in the morning and you have a dream and that's what you become. It's a journey, actually a journey. So try to do the best you can, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. That is always the advice that I have, especially at the time when I was selling sampaguita garlands. Every day, rain or shine, lagi kong tinatanong yung sarili ko, kailan kaya bubuti yung buhay namin? So, if I did not pursue my studies, siguro nandun na kami sa Kangkungan by this time. So it's the best advice I can do. I can tell the students how they can pursue their dreams. If you have any question, we can start it now.
Thank you so much for that very inspiring lecture. And now we would like to invite everyone to ask questions to our speaker. So for our first question, the hospitality industry is one of the hardest hit industries by the COVID-19 pandemic. What
Yes.
situations did your company employ to adjust to the new normal?
Yeah. Actually, we're not in the normal stage right now. We're still actually in the pandemic stage, right? Um, the thing is, what we were, of course, we are forced by the government to close our hotels, and what we did is according to the government regulation, we have to give them salaries until 6 months. So some are working on part-times, some are working 15 days part-times, some are on kind of a leave for months. And because Thailand has, if you remember, in 19, of course you're still young, it's 20 something years ago, we had this what we call Tom Yum Kung crisis. Thailand was able to get through that. How? Because many of our workers, they went back to the provinces and they tilled their lands. Nagtanim sila doon. So that's how they make their living. Hindi sila yung congested in the city. They prefer to go back home and then magtanim and they leave. And that is why after 5 years, Thailand was able to get back to its normal situation. So this case also, most of our employees, especially the Thais, were employing actually Thais, Burmese, some Cambodian, and we have like 22 Filipinos who are with us. So what did they do with the Filipinos? We created, so happened that we created Lola's Kitchen. So we employed the Filipinos to help us in our in our business. Nagsimula kami ng Lola's Kitchen. So meron kaming when we started, it was before the COVID, and then during the COVID, we also during the COVID, we did the delivery business. So nag-deliver kami ng food because there was some time that they said you cannot open the restaurant, so we used the delivery service. And then after that, after the delivery, binuksan ng Thailand ang aming wala na kaming ECQ or what MEQ or something. Bukas na lahat. So then we went back into the normal restaurant business. But of course, our workers, they only have worked for, let's say, 15 days, 10 days, like that. And some of them, we accommodated them in our hotel. This instead of them having renting in an apartment, we accommodated them there. So they have a place na they can save their money for apartment and transportation. So something like that. So we work it out. We were able to take all of them because we asked all of them if they want to go back home. We were going to give them tickets, and then nobody wants to go home. So and when asked them, nobody wants to go home, and we did this business. And when we saw that the Lola's Kitchen is performing well, we converted one of the floors of our Akara hotel into Viva Pilipinas. So that's if you will see, it's kind of Manila Hotel inspired decoration. So that's how, again, the Filipinos that we have, 22 Filipinos are working in Lola's Kitchen and also at Viva Pilipinas. So we are more or less doing the right thing. And this month of July, we started opening our hotel. We are taking the locals. The Thais are coming over and the facilities. So we're surviving. So far, our employees are all surviving. We provide them their basic necessities, the basic needs. May not be as good as the pre-COVID, but everybody's able to stay and maintain their status as working OFWs. Yes. Any more question?
Indeed, we need to find alternatives ways in order for us to move forward during these trying times. Thank you for that. Moving forward to the next question. What corporate social responsibility activities do your companies advocate? How are they relevant in today's business atmosphere in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic?
I think I showed you a slide about that we that the group of what we call Ateneo Leadership Social Entrepreneurship. We went into getting sponsorships and contributing cash and also goodies. We put them in packs and we give away to those OFWs with no work, no pay. And we did that for several batches. So you will see in the slides that I showed you, nag-i-impake kami ng mga itlog, bread. Our company gave pandesal and Spanish bread. And then we put that in bags and we go to places and we deliver it to them. So we've helped a lot of Filipinos who were out of job at that time. And other than that, during this time of pandemic, we also lower down the price of our food. In fact, the first 3-4 months of our operation, we were not actually making money. We gave 30% of our discount to our Filipinos so that they can take the food and enjoy it. Even we spared our income. We spared our income from that. So that should be our profit, but we're not getting any profit anymore. We gave it to them 30%. So while some people are having no work, no pay, or maybe half month pay, they can still enjoy the food and they get the percentage discount. And many are missing home, so they are here and they enjoy the food with us.
Thank you very much for that. Indeed, sharing your profits would very much greatly help our fellow Filipinos during these trying times. For our next question, you have a very inspiring life story from being a sampaguita vendor in the streets of Manila to a successful hotelier in Thailand.
Yes.
As FEU Tamaraw alumna, how much of your success you think can be attributed to the academic and life lessons you gained from the Tamaraw community?
Oh yeah, okay. So of course, I owe a lot of things from FEU. First, when I was first admitted to work as a student assistant, even it was just for a year. But of course, after finishing my master's degree from UP, I again went back there and also taught there for a year. And during college days as a working student at night, most of the time you meet a lot of working students also at night. So um, there was not, I know in terms of interaction, maybe not much interaction, but I gained a lot of theories, and it helped me. Uh, it helped me when I went further into my studies in UP, and also um, other than that, it's the patience of going to school because working from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the registrar's office or even somewhere, and then catching up for the class in the evening from 5 onwards up to 9 o'clock. You can just imagine how life was tough for me at that time. It's really very, very hard for for working students. If I, well, of course, this time I raised my kids, and they did not experience same life, but life was so tough for me during those days because it's really have to make tipid and to be patient, to be what else would I say? Yeah, my patience and my credibility and uh, my hard work and all this paid off. From Tamarao alumni, I would say this is such a journey, and I'm very much thankful to FEU for giving me the chance to start my life as a student assistant and as a student. Yeah. And thank you also for inviting me to be one of your speakers here. I hope I'll be able to inspire some of you, some of the students in the future. Maybe you will lead into whatever field you'll be in business. But just be patient and do your hard work and continue on good values, and you will succeed.
Indeed. Thank you very much for that. I know it's hard to balance both work and studies, but you still
Yeah.
manage to pursue it despite all your
Yes.
troubles.
I may not. I may not be. I sometimes I envied some of my friends during my high school days and college days because my friends, they were able to go to Ateneo, LaSalle, UP, but I chose to work as a student assistant because I have no means, even my transportation and everything. But I think the very end of it is like whatever you've gone through, at the end of everything is just what you have become. That's it. No. So that's the thing that I really want to help the community or to pay back the community, is to inspire one, and maybe you can share some of my stories which I shared to you about. I was um, i was featured in two television stations in the Philippines, and they came all the way from Philippines to interview me and feature me at Chris TV, and also Lakbay Langit. Maybe you can watch that. And also, I denied one another. I will be featured in MMK. I also quite hesitant to do it, but the channel 2 is already closed. So, something like that. But anyway, something that I will keep on doing. I will keep on doing and inspiring people to um, to continue on the journey despite all these challenges that we're facing right now, the 21st century. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to being invited by FEU.
Thank you very much for that. Indeed, your life story is very much inspiring to all of us. To follow up our previous question, what is your message to our Tamaro students who are aspiring to be like you someday, but are struggling in their educations or finances?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nowadays, of course, of the pandemic, a lot of parents are struggling to find means to pay the fees, be able to provide the education. Um, what would I say is, of course, you have to be frugal. You have to be thrifty. Maybe you can also source out some means of income that you can help your parents, so you can, more or less help them raise some funds for your tuition fees. And also, you have to study hard so you don't fail. Because if you fail, you have to pay again, right? So, what else would I say? It's just that how you will going to, life is how you make it, no? Life is how you make it. You only have to be resourceful, okay? You have to be resourceful. You find ways in which how you can be able to meet all your expenses. Maybe you can help your mom or your dad to do other things so you can make a living. Life is really a lot of challenges. Like maybe this time is, I guess, the worst ever, um, what I say, event that is happening right now. So that's the only thing I can say. You only have to be resourceful. You have to be patient. You have to find ways by which you can go through with it. You cannot just say, I'll just wait for my mom's salary, or I will just wait for my padala from abroad and something like that. People from abroad are also suffering. They also have no work, no pay, and everybody's actually, this is a global pandemic. So you only have to source out things that you don't need to buy. You don't have to buy, things that you can still use. You don't have to buy. Make use of what you have. This is not the time for shopping. This is not the time for spending. You only focus on your studies first. Like I remember when I was a student. I told you, my mom used to cook adobo for me for the whole week, and then maybe I'll be having adobo for the whole week, and maybe some tinapay and things like that. Yeah. Uh, um, I don't know these days because I'm no longer a student anymore. I'm 66. So I don't know how life is in the Philippines right now. And I've not been visiting Philippines for, a longer period, not more than 3 weeks maybe. But I know, of course, I send my pamangkin to school, and even my grandchildren to school. I pay for their fees. But I saw that my pamangkin, they're able to help themselves. Katulad ko din na I sent two of my pamangkin, and they also sell sampaguita during their days. Despite I'm paying for their tuition fee and their daily expenses, they're also helping their parents. Ano rin sila ng sampaguita. But of course, those two girls that I sent, they were able to finish their college, and they're all working very successful. One actually is working with us right now. And I think I sent around 5 of my pamangkin to college. And this time, at least, I was able to help them back. So, and also now my grandchildren, I'm also helping them finance their studies. So it's also like for myself, if I have to send my monetary help to my family over there, I'm also thinking of what I will going to spend. I will think first, twice, thrice before I buy it, because I'm thinking of people back home, especially my family other than me. I also have other of my brothers and my pamangkin who are needing my help. So before I buy things, I will think about them. Maybe I can save this for another, maybe end of the year or next year. I will not buy. Maybe I want to buy a new watch, but I don't want to buy a new watch because I want to save this money for the education of my pamangkin or my grandchildren, something like that. So it's it's kind of everything we have to go through with this, and only time will tell. We need a lot of sacrifice, really sacrifice. And so, like what I said for kids, you have to be, yeah, I would say resourceful, and then think twice about before buying something. Save as much as you can, and pay attention to your studies, because, like what I said, if you fail, you have to repeat again, and you have to pay the units again. So something like that. You try to finish the course, according to, maybe 4 years, if you can make it 3.5 years or something like that. Yeah. So you crash the course if you can do it. Yeah. So you can work faster. Like these days in the Philippines, we already have our K-12, right? So the longer your parents spend they're paying for more tuition fee because we have the K-12 already. During my days, we only have the high school is up to fourth year, but this time we already have the grade 12. So, there's more expense. What would I say about how are we going to encourage them? Some of you may think of, maybe it's much better for me to do it next year or another year, or maybe take off from studies. But it all depends, on the situation. Actually, I cannot say the situation of every individual students. What are their financial status? What are their living conditions? And the present conditions in the Philippines, about the lockdown, and the businesses are down and things like that. This is really the most challenging times in our history, and the world history, actually. Is there any other question?
Thank you so much for sharing your story and inspiring us to work hard to be able to reach our dreams. Everyone, we sincerely appreciate your active participation. You have been a part of an FEU milestone, and we hope that our subsequent programs would have the same success as this. Thank you so much, Tita Zen. Your story
Yeah.
is very much needed in this time to remind us that hard work always pays off no matter what. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Happy Mother's Day again, and enjoy your day.
Yes, thank you also. This is my mother's gift to all of you at FEU.
Thank you so much, Tita.